Yesterday, my 391 steel style, however you want to say that, it's the German-made one, chainsaw, just decided to stop working, so I took it to Harco, and it's going to be over a week. I was like, you know, I can't wait that long. So I left it with them, and I got another one. Yep, I got a second chainsaw. So I got a lot of work to do, and you can see here, this stump has to go. I've decided to not cut these logs any shorter than that. I need to get 10-foot logs if I can. I may not be able to get that out of these up to at least where they stop being straight. That's where I'll cut them and try to preserve the logs best I can. Were I thinking ahead, I would not have cut those right there. Anyway, I got a lot of work to do today. I'm going to be at some point renting a very large like bulldozer type unit to get rid of as much of this as I can, but it's going to be a while. I've decided that I'm going to be cutting down that tree, all those over there. I'm not going to take care of this large one, but anyway, let me show you around. So this guy is very helpful because yesterday was 99 to 101 degrees, and I'm just going to need that. All right, so here's the new chainsaw. It's a 311. It's not exactly a 391, but it's very, very close to same quality. What I've done is I've found a way to get pallets. Apparently, Tractor Supply likes to give me 5 at a time. Hey, I'm okay with that. I'll take as many as I can get. This is a couple of units here that I made in my old house, the greenhouse. They were in the greenhouse. I made these myself. I was not going to leave them for the new owners. But as you can see, I got them covered up. It works great that way. It's just for anything outside. It rained like hell the other night, and I got everything inside that room right there was soaked. I wasn't here when it rained, and I made the mistake of not zipping up those windows. So I won't be making that mistake again. New coat hanger rack. Yeah? What do you think? It's just, there you go. Okay, it is 9 a.m. I've been up for about 2 hours just doing some things, trying to get, ready for my day. Sometimes it's hard to wake these old bones up. But this is something I'm quite happy about. Sun tea. I discovered my tea warmer is, it requires 1,200 watts. Oh my God. I don't have anything at all that requires 1,200 watts. I don't even think a dishwasher or a major appliance requires 1,200 watts. Nothing requires 1,200 watts. So I was like, I don't have 1,200 watts. I've ordered a 2,000 watt inverter, but right now I only have 750 watts. Besides, I'm not going to sit there and boil tea at 1,200 watts. That's going to suck up my juice. So, sun tea. Sun tea is great, man. I had my first dose of it yesterday. I love making my Thai tea. All right, and check this out. Is made with this. I had a second one that was missing the tarp. So, it's very useful. I can make all kinds of stuff. Who don't quite know how to do this, I'm going to take some time to demonstrate how to switch this out, and I'll talk to you about why I'm switching the chain out on this thing. You're wondering, it's probably the most aggressive chain you can get. I do have a 20-inch blade. I could have chosen to get bigger, but I don't want anything bigger than that right now. Besides, I'd have to convert all my blades over. But you can see on the back, this thing has a chart. The aggressive blade, as you could probably, if you're a chainsaw guy, you know. The aggressive blade is designed different. Let's see if I can get this thing unscrewed. Hang on. These things are always a mess to undo. Gosh, there we go. All right. It's a very, very aggressive blade. Okay, when you put the chainsaw on, you do have to make sure that you are putting it on the correct way. And I forgot my tools. Always have more than one of these. If you ever lose it, you're screwed. Okay, here we go. You'll have bolts right here that this thing is designed for. You have a little thing right here that is positive, negative. It's just loose and tight. You can see it's very, very tight right now. I'm going to loosen this thing until it, oops, got to loosen this first. Okay, so now it's loose. See that? Because I loosened it before that. Something I'm going to mention, on a chainsaw, every chainsaw has this thing, okay? It's designed to, in quotes, protect you, okay? I'm going to remove it. Don't do that. I'm not advising you do that. The reason I do that is because should this chain ever come loose, and that's happened to me before, it just comes loose. It doesn't come off. What happens is it ends up getting chewed up right there. I have actually lost a lot of blades because they get chewed up right there. Just a thought. I know a lot of people can disagree with me on that one. Perhaps I shouldn't be doing that. You know, perhaps I shouldn't be. But that's what I do. So anyway, you can see the blade has to go a certain direction. Usually there's an indicator right here that says, you know, exactly what direction. Hang on a second. You'll see something right here that tells you what direction to put the chain on. So what you do is you take the whole blade off like that. Okay, that's it. You just take it off like that. The whole bar comes off. The whole blade comes off. These things will get all tangled up. Almost, unless you hang them, there's no chance of you keeping it from getting tangled up. All right. So you just take it and you put it back on. You put it on that way. All right. There's really no other way to do this. Line it up best you can. All right. There's usually holes, notches that you put in. Put it in, and now this thing goes here. All right, just like that. I'm going to hold this in place. Put that here. Okay. Now all I'm doing is just securing it to make sure it doesn't move. That's it. All right. So now it's not tight yet. You don't want to tighten it yet. You want to get the blade lined up. Okay. So it's not tight. Make sure it's a little bit loose. There you go. Take this. Now, how tight do you want it? I think that's a preference. And I've asked a lot of professionals. You know, people it's like this all they do all day long. It's chainsaw stuff. They work with trees. So my preference is not to have this blade too far away from the bar. Like I know that if it's too tight, what happens is if it's too tight, this doesn't move, and you end up burning a lot more gas. And it's a lot tighter to move, harder to function, and it can stall if it's too tight. I like it to just barely touch right there. That makes me feel like it's not going to get loose and come off. And if this is a new blade and it's going to stretch a little bit, so I'll have to adjust it several times. And you will always need to adjust it, by the way, because if you get caught in something or just overuse, time, it's gonna get loose. So that's it. Just make sure you crank these things down real tight and get you some extra bolts, because nuts, because these nuts will get lost. You'll eventually lose them, and that's gonna suck for you. So get some extras, and you're gonna want both of them on there at all times. You have bar oil. Every chainsaw, even electric chainsaws, have bar oil, and then your mix. Now the mix in this case is a 50-to-1. So you'll have to figure that measurement out. But you take this certain oil that is designed for chainsaws or for this type of engine. I went ahead and got the oil that is by the same company of the chainsaw. That way I know that I'm maximizing the quality. If it has been sitting for a while, you can see I don't have much left. Make sure you mix. Always do that. You don't want to. Arco is like the best place. So I bought this. They went ahead and put some gas in for me, and they filled it up with bar oil. So I don't need to do that. Keep your box, because when you store your chainsaws, unless you have another tagging method, you're going to want to know what they are. Okay, you're going to want some kind of eye protection. I did have some goggles, but they tend to get sweaty. So this works best for me. All right, that's it. Let's get started. Okay, you're going to see a little button right here on this particular type of chainsaw. They've never fully described exactly what that button does, but I'll have to look into that. But you push the button in, and it somehow makes the chain easier to pull, the cord easier to pull. So you put it on the third setting for this particular type of chainsaw, which is basically choke. And you pull it once, which I've already done, so I may end up having flooded it. You got to go to the second setting after that, and this should pop out. Quick work of that whole thing. I took down all these uglies. Looks like I see some future furniture. What I see. Yeah, made pretty quick work of it. I mean, that was like 10 minutes. I cut down that gigantic stump. These are cut into pieces that are usable. That's usable. That's junk over there. You'll notice that I de-limbed. It's called limbing. I de-limbed these logs. I plan on using these logs. I cut them in strategic places. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and those 2 over there that I can use. So man, it made pretty quick work of this entire thing. So anything you plan on keeping, make sure you de-limb like this, okay? And now it's time to move them. Time to clear. You may not be able to see much difference from that, but that's a good hour and a half. It's raked. I cut away all the dead branches that we're out of sight from the camera as well. I cleaned that area over there. I'm trying to clean a swath of area to put up a 10 by 20 deck so that I could put storage on there. So the reason for the raking is because there's all kinds of root systems here that are sticking up out of the ground. There's tiny stumps about like that, and there's vines in the ground. Not to mention, revealing those is one thing, but you get to see more the lay of the land if there's anything maybe you need to level or flatten. There is a difference. And it gives me a good perspective on how it's going to look, and of course it's a fire hazard if you don't get rid of all these leaves. So, oh, it looks prettier too. So anyway, that's that. It's done. For now, my next step is going to be taking down some trees that you can't see over there. Trees there. Those trees are coming down. And frankly, I'm not going to tend to them once they fall. My priority right now is to get something built because I'm kind of on a timeline. I need to get things moved into storage, out of my paid storage and into a storage facility here of some kind, and create a little workshop on that 10 by 20. With the workshop, I can bring all my tools here, everything that's electrical, bring my solar power over here and run it, and then begin to clear an area at which I want to build the log cabin. So anyway, that's the goal for now. It may be modified as I go, but I'm coming up on a possible hurricane season, which is also tornado season in September. And of course, it's going to get cold after about November. October, it starts to get cold. So I'm going to have to, above here, you can't see it. Here, let me get it to this tree right above us here. I'm keeping the tree, but I'm going to take those branches and climb up there and get my long pole saw. And up here, this thing's ugly up here. I want to keep the tree. All the brown is actually vine. So if I can get rid of all those branches as far up as I can go, then I will feel secure about having the log cabin. I'm not log cabin, but the storage underneath it. I don't want any dead branches falling on it. And there's a bunch of dead branches over there too. So that's why all that's gonna come down. So like I said, unless it falls into my area down here, I'm not gonna take care of them. I'm just gonna fell them and deal with it later. Sure, if you can see how wet this is. I mean, it's almost like I dunked it in water. It's absolutely soaked. But that's what we're doing. Living out in the wild. Let's take another tour. Let me take you on a tour. So, this is the bedroom. You can see I've got power there. That's my light for nighttime. And this is my fan, one of my fans. Got another little fan here, works great. And a little fan up there. This is my bedroom. My dressing room. I finally upgraded to a $50 little my stuff being horizontal. Then over here we have the dining room / computer table. Anyway, that's my life. I'm going to get some lunch, but when I get back, I'm going to be meeting with a guy who's at the property who's going to take a look and see how much it would cost to clear an acre. I mean, I could do it and I would love to do it, but if he's going to do it cheap enough, we'll go for it. But somehow I think I'm going to end up doing it myself. Mother of hell, it is just damn hot. Okay, it's 93 right now. It's only 1,300 hours. Okay, so the guy came and he said for $1,400 a day. Now, I don't have that to spare at the moment, and he's a month out. But he could clear quite a bit in a day, and if I gave him 2 days worth, he could clear a lot, because he wouldn't be hauling, you know, for 2 times in one day. But that's tempting. That place back there is a disaster. It's nothing but a disaster. I'm going to show you something before I leave. You don't want your logs to touch the ground. I have all these branches here. Rather than use a pallet, this is level. See, the ground is not, but what I created is a level surface for the logs. The guy said he could clear all of that back there, all of that over there, and all the way around. It's probably a quarter of an acre in one day. There's a lot of vinery here. Right now, what I'm going to do is not hang around here. This is dumb. You can't work in this environment, and I don't have anything to cool me off except this truck, and I can't sit here and burn gas. So I've got to go to the post office, pick up my mail, and then grocery store. And then I think I'm going to find some place to just hang around, like a library, and do the work that I need to do on the computer, on my laptop. And probably do that for quite some time, because it's just too damn hot to do anything right now. Just too damn hot.